Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 204. This is the G Podcast. Yes. We are back in the building, man. I'm Tommy B. And each week we do news, politics, pop culture, that piping hot tea from the one and only Tonya B. And Talib Shabazz is back, man, with this week's news. And among the topics, man, we'll talk about police, man, still behaving badly. Young man tased in handcuffs in Alabama, and it goes viral, not just to the U.S., but goes viral to the world. Tonya B has your tea. She'll give you some updates on what's going on with Puff. And I'll give you my review of the biographical film from Barack and Michelle Obama's new production company. It's on Netflix. It's called Rustin. So we'll dive into that. So let's go ahead and get it started with news from Syracuse, Mike. Mike, what you got, man?
News team, assemble!
It's time for the Week in News with Syracuse Mike.
During a special session Tuesday, state legislators approved a new political map for Georgia. The vote along party lines. Lawmakers approved maps that will likely keep both the state Senate and the House under the control of Republicans, sending those maps to Governor Brian Kemp for his signature. Democrats called the plan for the new state map sinister, saying it did not do enough to enhance black opportunities in the 10 districts found to be illegal. Democrat and Senate Minority Leader Gloria Butler believes Judge Steve Jones won't approve this map.
I don't know that they would put it in our hands again since we don't seem to get it right.
But Republican State Senator Bo Hatchett said they did what the judge asked them to do.
A lot of time, energy, and effort was put into making sure this complied with the judge's orders.
State Senate lawmakers also approved a map that maintains Republicans' 9-5 advantage in the U.S. House. By the way, several Democrats believe a special master will eventually be brought in to draw the state's political map. Oscar-winning actor Jamie Foxx made his first major public appearance since being hospitalized earlier this year. He was at the Critics' Choice Association celebration event in Los Angeles Monday night. While he didn't give details about what was repeatedly referred to at the time as a medical complication, Foxx did admit that he couldn't walk and that now he has a new respect for life. At least 3 people were killed and 1 person was in critical condition as of last night after a shooting on the University of Nevada campus. This was the response on campus Wednesday after the incident. University Police Services President Adam Garcia.
The entire Nevada system of higher education in southern Nevada, campuses are all closed out of an abundance of caution. There is no threat to any other campus, but we are doing this out of an abundance of caution.
Police said the gunman is also dead. Kevin McCarthy says he's done. The former Speaker of the House announced in a Wall Street Journal op-ed piece that he will not seek re-election and is leaving Congress. McCarthy says he will stay involved in Republican politics. Sean Diddy Combs is facing yet another accusation of rape and sex trafficking in a new lawsuit filed this week. It's the 4th legal action against him. The unnamed accuser alleges that Combs and 2 others gang raped her when she was 17 and still in high school. Norman Lear, who changed network television in a dramatic way, has died at the age of 101. He created or produced and wrote some of TV's most memorable sitcoms of the 70s and 80s, including All in the Family, Sanford & Son, The Jeffersons, Maude, and Different Strokes. He was such an iconic figure in television that all of the major broadcast networks aired what they called an on-air in memoriam card for Lear. It appeared at the same time Wednesday night in primetime on CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, and the CW. We have learned more about the gunman who killed 3 people and wounded a 4th on the University of Nevada, Las Vegas campus. Law enforcement officials say Anthony Polito had applied for a job at the school but was not hired. The unemployed professor was fatally shot by police following a confrontation outside the university. Law enforcement officials say the job application for a UNLV professor opening was from 2020. It's not clear if that rejection was a motive for the shooting. Hunter Biden has been indicted by a California federal grand jury. He faces 9 charges, including 3 felonies for failing to pay his taxes, underreporting his income, and exaggerating his expenses on tax returns between 2016 and 2019. The announcement came months after a plea deal over tax and gun charges fell apart. The president's son could face 2 criminal trials before his father runs for re-election against Donald Trump, who has his own legal problem.
Thanks for the headlines, Mike. Yeah, we are here, man. Episode 204, Tommy B. and the one and only Talib Shabazz.
Hey,
Yes.
what's happening?
What it is, Talib, man.
Glad to be back, brother. Glad to be back.
Thank you, man. It's the holiday season. I love the holidays, man. I know a lot of people kind of him and haw sometimes about the holidays. But, I guess it was the way I grew up in the ATL, man. I mean, it was, I'm just used to the festivities. And,
Yeah.
Throwing back to the pink pig and
right. The top of riches.
So it's
the lighting the tree. Yeah.
Oh yeah, part of the culture for me, man. I gotta have it.
Indeed.
Yeah. But each week, we do the news and politics, man, and I want to just thank Mike Roberts, man, down there in Middle Georgia for providing his headlines every week, man. Let me give him his applause.
Yeah.
Especially,
Yoda.
As we Yoda. Yeah. Especially as we approach the end of the year, I got to say thanks to Mike, man. He, there's so much going on, man. He manages to capture just about everything out there. So, just real quick, and I'm not going to really deal in depth with the titles I'm going to mention or the hot topics, but the Georgia maps are, as the Georgia Democrats like to call them, sinister. Sinister. But I have to ask, man, since they're so sinister, why y'all not being as aggressive about, it just seems to me they're not as aggressive considering what's at stake. Now, they're making an assumption that these maps are going to go back to the judge, the federal judge, and they're not going to agree with the Republicans on the changes because the Republicans are playing like lawyers. Many of them are, you can always make adjustments for what's being asked. Doesn't mean it's right.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So when they go back, they're making an assumption that the judge will disagree and actually assign a special master.
That's right.
And take them out of the mix. But what if that doesn't happen? And the judge says, okay, cool. Because what I'm seeing, Talib, is Gwinnett County is going to get screwed. Gwinnett.
Oh, yes.
The city of Gwinnett, all that area is going to get screwed. But any quick thoughts on that you have in this process, man?
Really, just the fact that the Democrats once again are very milquetoast in terms of their response. If we know that certain things are not going to look good for us, I just don't. And I say us, and I use the term us very loosely. But they just don't seem to be very motivated to move in the direction that the people want them to. Yeah. And I really don't understand why at this point, with so much at stake, the majority right now is like 9-5.
Yeah,
in terms of Republicans to Democrats here in Georgia for the House of Representatives. Yeah. So why would you not try to get something that at least gives us a 7-7? You know what I mean? If not the majority. So I really, and again, I'm not really. I don't identify with Democrats. I identify as more of an independent.
With the people.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
exactly. So
it's tough. It's tough too, because as I watched the news this week and I watched the coverage of this, because I come from Texas. I mean, well, not from, but I spent 7 years out in Texas, in Dallas. And for my friends from Dallas and Fort Worth, and he spent I think he did some jail time. John Wiley Price was one of the guys out there, and he was more, the city of Dallas. But that dude made noise. I mean, when stuff didn't go right, even if he couldn't get anybody else to go protest, he's out there with biker shorts and a tank top. You know what I'm saying? Walking around with a picket sign. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, the civility sometimes. It's good to be civil. I agree. Yes. But sometimes you just gotta let them know. Right. And this is not one of those times to be passive. But we'll see how it works out. Hopefully, maybe they know something we don't.
Right.
So hopefully they know something we don't. So we'll see. Jamie Foxx, real quick, and I know Tonya B is going to talk about this, but good to see him back walking, talking.
Yes.
And definitely more respectful for life at this point.
For sure.
Another mass shooting, this time UNLV, disgruntled applicant. And as long as you know who's in office, as long as you know who has the House and the Senate, Nothing's going to happen.
There's nothing that's going to change.
No.
You know, and it's funny
at least
because
the
I used to.
We have the Senate.
Yeah.
I mean, Dems
Right.
have the Senate, not we. Excuse me,
Right.
Talib.
But you know, man, I used to live right up the street from UNLV.
Wow.
Right there on Maryland Avenue. And to know that, and, you know, just like most colleges, you know, UNLV is right smack in the middle of a residential neighborhood. So just to know that on campus, which is, you know, two blocks basically from the strip, you know, that there's an active shooter on site. And Vegas just went through, you know, a couple of years back, the mass shooter at the country show.
Yes.
I mean, you know, this is, come on, guys. Can we use just a little bit of common sense? I'm sorry, common sense. I wanted to say common sense, but guys, can't we just think about this a little bit and apply some basic truths to these scenarios? This shouldn't be happening. You know, I'm getting tired of I'm getting tired of reporting about mass shootings.
You think? I mean, as long as I've been doing this podcast, we've had to do, unfortunately, almost one a month. I mean, I'm talking about. I go back to 2015, 2016. In some cases, I'm not saying. I mean, there's always one. And keep in mind, you know, that when it comes down to this particular mass shooting, there was a bill apparently that was attempted to pass even this week that was turned and I thought it was a good bill because it was more of an assault weapons ban. Okay. And I thought it was fair, very liberal in terms of giving gun owners the opportunity to protect themselves. But I'll tell you, Talib, you know, this is not about hunting or sport or even protection. You know, I really think this is about a lot of these survivalists, a lot of these, you know, the 1776 type people with that mentality. They're preparing for war.
Yeah, the militia groups.
Militia groups. You know, I think it has more to do. It's funny because I'm watching Fargo, right? Because I love Fargo on
show,
FX.
Man.
That
is a really good show.
This year they're dealing with this, right?
Okay.
So you know, she goes. Well, I'm not going to go into the scenario. You can watch it if you want. But part of one of the scenes is them going into a gun store to buy guns, and there's a waiting period. And you know, she's going in there, this little petite white lady, asking for these guns that look like elephant guns. You know what I mean? She knew every aspect of it. So I'm just saying this survivalist mentality is out there. The militia group mentality. I think they're doing it for these militia groups. I mean, it has nothing to do with sport. It has nothing to do with gun enthusiasts. This is all about the militia groups preparing for takeover. More so than what I really do think that that's what it's all about. You know, Second Amendment. No, this is about militia.
I'm not gonna disagree. I'm not gonna disagree at all. I mean,
that's just me. If you disagree, y'all feel free to go to castropolis.net. Hit the people vote.
Right.
And just a couple of more quick things, and then you know, I do want to ask you about this tasing because you know Atlanta's going through the tasing situation. Fortunately, this young man in Alabama, you know, is still around to talk about it.
Right.
But Kevin McCarthy is done at the end of the year. Diddy has a fourth situation against him. Norman Lear dead at 101. You know, lived a man. If only I can only hope to hit 100 plus.
Right.
And then Hunter Biden, 9 charges in California. Here we go again. And his trials tend to be or look like they're going to be before the 2024 election. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. Yeah. You know, but one thing, man, I do want to address this, man, and Mike didn't get to it. The tasing that happened to the 24-year-old on the side of the road changing his tire. And this happened in Alabama. I want to play the audio of it, and it's disturbing. I will give you a heads up if you want to, you know, fast forward past it. Not too much, just a little bit. But here we go. I want to play this and just to kind of get an idea of the distress this young man was dealing with. Here we go.
Right there on the front of the car. Stay.
I ain't doing shit, but I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, what you saying? Oh, yeah, for. I'm not. Oh, my God. Okay. Down, oh, my fault. Oh, my God. God.
You want it again?
No, man.
You was big and bad. Shut your up.
She should have been fired on the spot. I mean,
on the spot.
Unfortunately, the video was a third-party video, and of course, I mean, and I don't go to the U.S. news. I look at the U.K. because it's an international story. So I step out of the country when I look, because they give a broader perspective, on it versus trying to hide facts. The UK. So I looked at the Daily Mail in the UK. Officer Dana Elmore was seen on camera swearing. That's why you hear the audio drops, because they dropped that out for their audience. Swearing and tasing Micah Washington, 24-year-old, with a stun gun, while he was cuffed on December 2nd. So the guy's cuffed. He's on the car. And, Washington said basically in an interview with an Alabama news station that he's really traumatized. And he had friends who were police officers, and he had respect for police officers because he knew people who did the work. But he said he doesn't know how to feel about police going forward. And, 24-year-old kid, he's a kid. Okay. He said he did not even know what he was being charged with when they arrested him. But basically they said it was fentanyl trafficking. They tested it. It wasn't, whatever you had wasn't fentanyl. One, he had a permit to carry the gun. He had, because she pulled the gun out on the video, and all the charges have been dropped. I think there's a lawsuit currently in play that he and his attorney filed a lawsuit against the police department, and it's in the millions. So, Talib, what are your thoughts, man? When you saw it, when you heard it, what are your thoughts?
It's disgusting. Truly, it's disgusting. To see this gentleman who was not resisting arrest, not putting up any kind of, struggle or anything like that, was definitely in handcuffs when the police officer is standing behind him with the stun gun in his back, and she's, shut your bitch ass up. Mm-hmm. What? This is somebody, again, man, these police officers do, police officers acting badly. Yeah. It's just one more incident where this is, look, I can understand if the dude was being disrespectful, calling the lady out of her name, then yeah, just as an individual, I could understand what would bring the aggression out of the police officer to make her say something like, shut your bitch ass up. Yeah. But to see that this guy is like, hey, what am I doing here? It's not a traffic stop, and he's being asked for ID because he's under his car trying to fix the tire. Come on, y'all. What are we really doing? These police officers, listen, I know that they're, not every police officer is a bad guy, but guys, there are too many bad apples in your bunch. It's spoiling it for you. Y'all are going to have to do better. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, man. I think, and I mentioned this one because the city of Atlanta is dealing with a situation where an elderly gentleman, he's, a church deacon, basically was pulled over, and he didn't want to comply because he disagreed. It was a traffic stop, basic traffic stop. He disagreed. There was I guess they were going to go ahead and arrest him, and the tow truck was there. The tow truck driver got involved and basically held him down while they tased him. And this gentleman, if you're not familiar with the story, you can take a look it up. He died. So his family is basically taking legal action against the city, against the tow truck company.
Needs to.
And the tow truck the driver was on camera bragging about the fact that it was almost like a George Floyd situation. He had his foot, his knee, his leg on the guy's, this elderly, was it 62, 63? I was elderly, but he's up there. So anything can happen. You don't know if these guys have heart conditions, or anything that you may not know about. It was just, the video's out there, and my point is, this hurts when you take a look at the fact that we don't have a George Floyd policing bill currently. Mm-hmm. So if the Democrats are like, why is it that black support is waning? This is why.
Yeah. Come on. Y'all aren't doing anything about these problems.
Yeah.
This is
everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, but go ahead. Just a total, for real. It's a total disregard for life.
Mm-hmm.
And for somebody who is there to protect and serve, you expect better.
Yeah. So when I look at the fact that these videos are out there, they're high profile. Not only are they national, but they are international. You know what I'm saying? These are all over the world. So the world is looking at you. The world was looking at you post George Floyd.
Yes.
So when you ask, why is black support waning in the polls? This is why. Yeah. This is one of the reasons why, because I understand, hey, we're working on inflation. We're working on everything that can help the general public, that will also help you, black people. Understand that. But this is something specific to the community. And nobody's asking to do away with the police. That whole, what defund, that's not.
We're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that. We're just talking about doing something that will regulate behavior and hold them accountable.
Exactly.
Required immunity. It's not working. Giving them the opportunity to police themselves is not working. It ain't working. They can't, obviously they can't do it.
No.
So, just another scenario, man. I'd love everybody's thoughts or, if you listen to the podcast. I get it. We have Officer Ronnie on the show. He comes on, we talk about the Fulton County Jail. I respect what those guys do, man. It's not an easy job. Because, we out there in the streets, man, there's some knuckleheads. I mean, some folks just need to go. They need to be, in order, that's just the way it is. But when you've got people like this, you're absolutely right to leave. They make it, one bad apple just makes the whole bunch horrible.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hey, man, what you got, man? You got anything? Go ahead. I'll let you know.
I got one thing I did want to say too. I was reading a story that was talking about a Texas woman who was, because of the condition that she's finding herself in, she's pregnant, and they determined that the child is going to be born with, I forget what the disease is, but she got the special exception through the Texas law to get an abortion. And now the Attorney General of Texas is trying to put a kibosh on it, stating that there has been no special exception proven, and his argument is that the judge who gave the exception is not a doctor. Yeah. So it's just more hypocrisy. I think that in a situation like this, that is the reason why exceptions were given. Was life-threatening.
Yeah,
it's shown that this is a 30-year-old Caucasian woman who, if she carries this child if she carries the fetus to full term, it will be jeopardizing her future fertility, as well as the disease that the child is suffering from is not going to live. That's the whole thing about this disorder. The child is not going to live. So why are we going back and forth still when the exception is clearly in the law? It's just a hypocrisy. You got people who are trying trying to institute these rules, or in this case, who were trying to say that the rules are not given by a medical professional, so we shouldn't accept them. But the abortion law was not given by medical professionals. They've taken the decision making ability away from doctors. That's I did want to talk about that earlier. Just look, guys, we got to do better. These are the people who you've put in place. Attorney General is not somebody who's just selected. Yeah. They run for office. They run for these positions. We got to get these folks out of there.
Texas, man, it's almost like Handmaid's Tale. A lot of these states, if anybody's familiar with the concept, I mean, Handmaid's Tale, that's what it looks like it's going back. That's what they want. It's like, this is what we want. We want control. We want total control over the women.
Exactly. So,
and just real quick, because I know you got a story about this. Mm-hmm. Do you know they're trying to pass a law where if you visit porn sites in Texas, you have to have your photo uploaded?
What?
To a database, yes. So now it's not bad enough that the ISP can see that I'm watching porn, but now you need a photo of me as well? They're about to pass I didn't get all of it, but there's a law out there in Texas. Texas is something else, bro.
Texas, y'all are not Florida. Stop this.
Hey, Texas. Florida's trying to be Texas. That's how bad it is. What else you got, man? What else you got? Else?
This one we could file in the news of the weird. But TMZ has reported that a cop has been arrested for attacking a sex shop worker who was pissed that his wife wanted big toys. Damn. So apparently in Oklahoma, they're saying that size does matter.
Let me give it to him. There you go.
So the police officer goes with his wife to a sex shop because she's purchasing a new toy, and got annoyed that the toy that she wanted was bigger than his own member.
Oh my God.
So he starts an argument inside of the store. He goes to try and backhand his wife. The worker steps in between them, gets beat up. The guy leaves the shop in a Bentley. Now, convertible Bentley, the police officer. Yes. And gets pulled over for speeding. As the police officer who got him for speeding is about to let him go, they get the call that this guy has assaulted someone, and that's how he got arrested.
Let me give it.
So again, police behaving badly. Come on, y'all. This has got to stop.
Man. Come on. That's
your excuse? You want to say, hey, man, don't stop me. I'm a police officer. Well, that's supposed to mean anything.
It gets back to, can we really allow them to police themselves?
No.
It's almost, I'm sorry, it's almost like the NCAA and what's going on with the Final Four. It's like sometimes people, you know what I mean? You just got to bring in, I guess, to take a little bit from George, you got to bring in the special master.
Right. We need a special master on this one.
Yes. Love your thoughts, y'all. Go to castropolis.net. Love your thoughts. Hit the people poll and leave us a voice message. I'm still waiting on you, Lenny. Still waiting, bro. I'll play back the best. I think Lenny sent that response out. Lenny heard everybody. He's like, "Oh, really? Let me get out of this."
Right? Yes.
Lenny Kravitz is
Lenny Kravitz, yeah.
What have I done,
man?
Let me get out of this.
Come on. Right.
Actually, before we wrap, man, let people know about the exhibit one more time.
Sure. So, in celebration of 50 years of hip hop, and at the time, Hip Hop History Month, Earwax Records, the former Earwax Records and Tape Store, we put together an art exhibit to celebrate this 50 years from the perspective of the record store. The exhibit has now been extended by Emory. So we have another month, January 7th. This will be going on until. So it gives everybody another opportunity to come out and check out the scenes, see yourself in some of these pictures, listen to some of the music and the mixtapes, and, just to see some of the videos and stuff that we've got. I mean, the exhibit is incredible. And
nice.
We've also been told that the amount of traffic that we've had since the beginning of this exhibit is more than this gallery has received over the last 9 months, 10 months.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So, it just goes to show, man, that presented in the proper manner, this is it's a benefit to the community.
Yeah, so true. Congrats to you and Jazz, man. Good work.
Appreciate that, man. For real.
Glad your legacy's, being acknowledged appropriately.
Indeed.
Good stuff. Thanks to the Newsmaker crew again. Talib Shabazz, thank you so much, man. Yeah. Let's go ahead. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the tea with Tonya B. Preach. Damn, man. Appreciate you. I can't even say it now. Texas. Hey, Texas got me messed up, man. Texas. That damn Texas. Appreciate you, man.
All right, Tommy. Yeah,
we'll be right
See
back.
you next week.
I know. Peace.
More. This is the G Podcast after the break.
It's time for tea.
It's tea time, y'all. Sipping the tea with Tonya B.
Yes, children. It's time for tea with your girl, Tonya B. This is how we do it. We're about to sip that GT right here inside. This is the G Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe and keep up with everything we got going on here. That's all I got to say. Let's just get right to it. Let's go down to the 5,000 Black Baptist Church altars in Atlanta and points north and south and say rest in peace to Ellen Holly, the groundbreaking actress from One Life to Live. She was one of the first, if not the first, African-American female to have a lead role in a soap opera. Age 92 years young, she will be missed. Actor Ryan O'Neal, more known for acting in all the trauma in his family. He's the ex-husband of the late Farrah Fawcett, and he passed away at age 82. Most people know him from Love Story in the 60s, maybe Paper Moon in the 70s or so. And he made movies with what's her name? Barbara Streisand, a whole bunch of people. Yeah, anyway. Also, we want to say rest in peace to the iconic TV producer Norman Lear at the age of 101. 101. Good God, what a life. He gave us Good Times, The Jeffersons, Sanford and Son, Facts of Life, and so many more. Touched on a lot of topics, Tommy B, that were taboo in the 70s. Maybe not so much now. Also say rest in peace to the second generation of the legendary Intruders, singer Glenn Montgomery. If you really don't know the group, you know I'll Always Love My Mama. Everybody know that song. Okay, I'm just saying. Also, rest in peace, and just sending up prayers of strength and power and positivity to Oscar winner Forrest Whitaker. His ex-wife Keisha Nash Whitaker passed away at the young age of 51 from a long time battle with an eating disorder. They had children separately and together, but she will be missed, and every child misses their mama. All right, Jamie Foxx finally came out in public, very tearfully accepting an award early this week, still not admitting his stroke, but when somebody says it took me 6 months to learn how to walk again, you know something was going on. Something going on at the trial of Jonathan Majors is not looking too good. We got to lay him on the altar. Megan Good got some good news. Her show, Harlem on Amazon Prime, has been renewed for season 3. Might be just in time for when his checks run out. Also, in more crime news, Rohan Marley is in trouble again. He is the married baby daddy of Lauryn Hill's children. He may be going to jail. He lost a $15 million accident liability lawsuit, never paid a penny. Woohoo, he may miss the premiere of the Bob Marley story, which is the story of his dad. That hits the big screen in less than 60 days. Kodak Black, good God, he back in jail too, arrested for drug possession. After the cops found him asleep at the wheel of his Bentley, he tried to eat the evidence and say he was taking a pain pill, but he also is going to be in pain because he has violated his probation. Singer Monica in the news again, saying her heart has been broken yet again. She started dating the incarcerated rapper C Murder, the brother of Master P, who's in jail for life, and she was trying to get him out. But guess what? Tommy B, he was cheating on her from inside the jail. Monica, you've been played like a $2 flute, girl. Hopefully she'll make better choices with the men she picks to have in her life, and hopefully she'll find happiness sooner than later. Well, primetime coach Deion Sanders and Babyface's ex-wife Tracy Edmonds have split up after a 12-year engagement. I wouldn't wait that long. They actually split up some months ago back in the summer. Allegedly, she's claiming she did not fit into his life because it was based around nothing but football and his children. But word from the curb is he was cheating in the next room, creeping with a 20-year-old fitness model. They claim they will stay friends and Tracy gonna be okay. Now, if you didn't see Usher in Las Vegas, fret not. After the Super Bowl, he'll be back in residency again before he hits the road for his world tour. Atlanta rapper 2 Chainz, also, I call him the Atlanta AARP rapper, catch that T. He was involved in a pretty bad 3-car crash. He was hit by a car in Miami while attending Art Basel in Miami, allegedly, but he was really leaving a strip club called the Booby Trap. He was rushed to the hospital. I hear he will be out probably by the time you hear my voice. TJ Holmes and Amy Roebuck got a job hosting a podcast, and their exes are reportedly dating and have been dating for the last 6 months. To that, I just say rebound stunt. That's what a rebunt is. Reboundstunt.com. Anybody care? Not me. More allegations again this week against Sean Diddy Combs. I hear he's fled to London, England, where he's very depressed and on suicide watch by some friends who are concerned about him. Of course, he's denying any and all allegations, but when you have young girls who are under the age of legal consent, hello R. Kelly, but let me say this to you, Tommy B. Do you remember, and I think we talked about this, and I remember because I was up there, when Wendy Williams started spilling Puffy's tea back in the 90s? He had the power back then to get her fired and run out of New York. But who's laughing now? I'm just saying. Terrence Howard is suing his former talent agency, creative artist agency, claiming he did not get the money he should have gotten as the lead actor in Empire. He produced some of the segments and he didn't get his money, and now he wants his coin. One thing I'm ready for in 2024 is the Luther Vandross documentary. It's already been screened at Sundance. The estate of the Vandross family of Luther and his best friends are involved in it. One of them is friend to, I guess, our podcast, Fonzie Thornton. Another producer, Jamie Foxx. So come January, you will hear a whole lot more about this. That's all I got. Ain't got no more, y'all. This is how we do it each and every Sunday. We sip the GT right here inside This Is the G Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe and rock with us. And don't forget the Birdwire is still on the Castropolis Podcast Network on demand. Go to castropolis.net and have a wonderful and safe week. Back to you, Tommy B.
What you watching this week, Tommy B?
We're diving into the powerful film Rustin, a biographical drama that tells the story of civil rights activist Bayard Rustin. Rustin boasts an incredible cast, including Coleman Domingo as the charismatic leader himself, Chris Rock as NAACP President Roy Wilkins, and Glenn Turman as A. Philip Randolph, and not just to name a few. It's produced by Barack Obama and Michelle Obama's Higher Ground Productions and directed by the very talented George Wolfe. I was blown away by the film's performances, especially like Chris Rock and Glenn Turman. They were very powerful in this film. Domingo delivers a whirlwind portrayal of Rustin, capturing his passion, intelligence, and the resilience. The film expertly navigates Rustin's challenges, highlighting his crucial role in organizing the historic March on Washington in 1963, which drew over 250,000 participants. Rustin does not shy away from the complexities of the lead character, nor does it avoid those within the civil rights movement, showcasing the different perspectives at times and the disagreements between various organizations. This nuanced approach added depth and realism to the story. Overall, Rustin is an essential watch for anyone interested in just a great story, history, social justice, and the power of nonviolent activism. It's a well-crafted film with outstanding performances that sheds light on an often overlooked figure who played a critical role in American history. Rustin is streaming on Netflix. Be sure to check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Go to the People poll at castropolis.net. Big thanks to Syracuse Mike, Tonya B, Vi, Talib, author and political analyst Harold Michael Harvey. Don't forget, y'all, get the book at haroldmichaelharvey.com. Thanks to the crew, man, Millennial Nick, Lady J, Regia, music by K-Dub, all those who help us make it each and every week. Don't forget, Sundays at 6 p.m., you can stream us first. All of our links are on social media, or just go to castropolis.net. Don't forget, share us with friends, y'all. Don't cost you nothing. And the big PSA for this week, you probably heard the story about the young woman caught dousing Dr. King's birth home in the ATL with gas, attempting to burn it down. She was arrested and is under psychiatric care. What you probably don't know is that she's a former vet and she's suffering from mental health issues, and her family had been attempting to find her for days. Let's hope she gets the help she needs, and let's pray for our vets out there, and let's hope all our vets get help. A reminder, y'all, don't forget our 200th episode long sleeve tea is available at castropolis.net. All proceeds go to the podcast, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications for the daily each day. And check us out. The holidays are upon us. Some of you have already taken holidays. Some of you have taken the rest of the year off. So as you travel, make sure you share the podcast with family and friends. With that, episode 204 is in the can, y'all. Have a great week. Peace and power to the people.